It looks like down here the Warrior Brood just able to recap this power node, but as I had mentioned before, Kalzi is really far behind, just now starting Tier 2. So that's definitely going to set him back a little bit. But he's maintaining pretty good map control. As you can see, he is just constantly harassing around and backcapping stuff while all of this is going on. We've got some more capping going on right now. The Storm Boys, by the way, have been upgraded with the improved rocket packs, which allows them to fling one of their men, the Bomber Boys. Lets them kind of suicide one of their troops as a suppressing kind of knockback rocket effect. But anyhow, they're charging on into combat. Lictor Alpha having to retreat away, and now you can see the Raveners just popping back up. And look at this nice little suppression here from the Barb Strangler, holding onto these Storm Boys. The Storm Boys, however, looks like they're still way too tough when backed up by this Dreadnought. The Death Dread, by the way, looks like he's activated his Rampage ability, which kind of doubles his speed there and makes those stomping footprints on the ground. Using Flamers, just chopping away at all of these Warrior Brood, doing quite a bit of damage here. On the left-hand side, we can see that it looks like the War Boss is scaring away some of the Warrior Brood. And then just kind of, we got some Slugger Boys recapping some things. Hormagaunts are continuing to be annoying in the center here. And then it looks like the Termagaunts are being shot up by the double squad of Shooter Boys up here in the north, upgraded with the big shooters. Looks like we've got kind of a concerted counterattack happening right now. This Death Dread is looking a little bit exposed, but thankfully there's really no anti-vehicle stuff out there at the moment. You would have to get into melee combat. He even picked up one of those retreating Termagants there and just kind of flung it to the side there. You can see now charging into melee combat right now, using those flamers, using those buzzsaws and power claws, just kind of chopping away at these warriors. Warriors going to have to get on out of there. War Boss right now, quite wounded and having to deal with this Lictor Alpha. That's definitely going to be a tough fight, but backed up by the Dread, he'll be pretty good. Chopping away at him right there. I think that was a Flesh Hooks point blank coming out of the Lictor Alpha there, who has been upgraded for Adrenal Glands as well, giving him more energy and health. More towards the middle, it looks like the standard Ork units again are just kind of recapping these victory points. We've got these Spore Mines again just kind of hovering around on the outskirts. Curious to see what's going to be going on there. But once again, those Spore Mines are just kind of getting shot up at a distance here, not really being very effective at all. So definitely got to take some more casualties there, and kind of useless at this point. Boom! Just one guy left wandering around, soon to die. And yeah, it looks pretty good for the Orc. So it is 2-1 right now. Orc at 475, Tyranid at 292, and Death Dread and Slugger Boys just kind of hanging out here on this side of the map. Now this is definitely what Kalzi needed here. He's got his Venom Brood upgraded to come out here and put some pressure on this Dreadnought. These guys do significant anti-vehicle damage with their venom cannons. I guess venom cannons spit like metal corrosive kind of acids and things like that. So more towards the center. Again, the Raveners are just kind of decapping the central point. But here comes the rampaging Dreadnought with his burners just charging on in there. You can see instantly scaring away these Raveners. The Raveners are still not upgraded for Devourer, wanting to use them instead for close combat. And here we go. The Storm Boys just charging on into action here. Fully upgraded. They've got the improved rocket packs and the knob. Just charging on in. You can see here that the Death Dread is doing significant melee damage right now. Storm Boys just making a pretty good impression here. Chasing them away. We'll have to see if they're going to use those Bomber Boys' ability to kind of fling one of their members. Looks like that's not going to happen for today. No need to either. I don't think he would have got too much done there. But meanwhile, these poor Termagants right now are very surrounded. You can see they're having to deal with basically getting attacked on all sides. Heavy melee coming in from all directions right now, taking some serious damage from the Storm Boys. The Storm Boys chasing them out of there. Will we see a Bomber Boy? Oh, I still want to see those Bomber Boys get used, but it looks like the Termagant's going to be able to get on out of there. Meanwhile, the Storm Boys are just charging on in here, once again launching themselves at the Warrior Brood. The Warrior Brood taking some real damage. They're going to use away. And there we have it, the Bomber Boys knocking back the Warrior Brood right back into close combat with the Death Dread, and they are just annihilated. That whole Warrior Brood with the Barb Strangler gets taken out as a result of that ability. Really good use there. And now we can see the amazing synergy between HoLyHammer's army right now. All of these units are working in perfect unison with one another. The Storm Boys just kind of tanking nicely, keeping significant pressure off the Death Dread, who's doing a lot of damage, all the while being backed up by these Shooter Boys here. So a lot of damage coming out of the Orc army today, and Kalzi has definitely got some work cut out for him if he's going to do some damage against this. Looks like he's lost his Warrior Brood and he's lost his Hormagaunts. So down 2 squads already, and you can see that HoLyHammer is well on his way to Tier 3. The score is currently 1-1, but it's about to be 2-1 with HoLyHammer at 475, Kalzi at 273 points. Looking around here, once again, we can see that the Storm Boys are just taking on these Warriors in close combat. The Warriors, again, have been upgraded with adrenal glands, giving them hit point bonuses to nearby units as well as increased attack speed and stuff like that. So, using the Bomber Boys, once again, throwing that one remaining squad member. He is down to 3 squad members, flinging their squad members. Will he get this one retreating Warrior? No! I think that Warrior is going to be fine for today. The Storm Boys, though, definitely starting to look quite beaten up. Oh, and the flesh hooks coming out of the Lictor Alpha right there, grabbing that knob, ripping him back and killing him painfully. Looks like I thought the Spore Mines might try to go after that last remaining Storm Boy, but no, he's going to get out of there and be able to resupply. And now we can see that the Lictor Alpha is just chasing down this Death Dread, who is looking quite beat up right now, coming out of infiltration, stabbing away at him from behind, doing quite a bit of damage, but I don't know if he could somehow increase his speed using Rampage or something to get on out of there, but no, looks like the Raveners tunnel on in and just kind of knock aside all of these Shooter Boys, and the Death Dread goes down. The Death Dread is down to the War Boss now, trying to cover for his troops a little bit. Looks like we've got quite the rally here coming out of the Tyranids for the time being. You can see that this Venom Brood doing quite a bit of damage here, and these Termagants basically with their poison sacks doing things pretty well here, but you can see quite a beating for the Lictor Alpha. Looks like he has been upgraded to have corrosive claws basically, so allowing him to do quite a bit of damage there. But let's take a look around right now and see what's going on. We can see the Slugger Boys coming down here just to do a little bit of gen bashing, going straight for this power node, going to try and decap that, and once again just harass Kalzi's power a little bit. He knows that Kalzi's been down in terms of power quite a bit this game. But we'll have to see how that's going to happen here. The Warrior is definitely going to come out and do quite a bit of damage. You can see them kind of leaping into combat, knocking back units. Very effective in close combat, especially against kind of these light tier 1 units. More towards the center, we can see that the Lictor Alpha is finally tired and going to have to get on out of here. And the Storm Boys have been fully resupplied. They have their knob, and they're still awesome and upgraded and all that sort of thing. But it is 2-1 with Kalzi being up. So 2-1, 219 points for Kalzi, 464 for HoLyHammer today. So now you can see we've got a whole bunch of Storm Boys just kind of doing a lot of damage. Wow, a ton of damage to this Venom Brood. Will they be able to pick him off? Throwing the Bomber Boys, knocking him back once again, continuing to chase, leaping on into combat right now, leaping way ahead of the unit because they want to take more damage, and yes, there they go. Absolutely wrecking that Venom Brood. So things are not looking good for Kalzi at all. That's his 3rd or 4th squad that he's lost so far this game. He's really starting to look quite behind. Now we can see some knobs are coming out on the squad on the field right now for HoLyHammer. That'll definitely kind of tip the scales in his favor in terms of super heavy melee there. Those last Warrior Brood here with the adrenal glands are going to have to get on out of there. And we've got quite a bit of fire coming out of these guys. And could it be that he's summoning some Spore Mines right behind the Ork army? Yes, it is. I'm guessing, yes, the War Boss is just going to turn around, do some damage to those Spore Mines, and the Shooter Boys are going to focus it all down. Causing a nice little distraction there, not really doing any damage. But the Lictor Alpha, once again, sneaking on in here, firing out his hooks and ripping back those guys. But now you can see very suppressed as the Shooter Boys are activating their aiming. What's that? To give them some little bit of suppression on the field there. And now the War Boss just kind of doing some damage here. So looks like the Lictor Alpha going to have to get on out of there. He did pick up another upgrade here. It looks like the Lone Hunter upgrade. So basically just helping him out there with the amount of damage he takes, that sort of thing. Moving more towards the center, we can see the Orks are just kind of threatening to take this victory point once again. I'm still surprised that with all of this going on, and as I said, this map is not usually, you know, the victory points are lined up linearly between both bases. With all of that going on, Kalzi is still managing to be nice and sneaky about capping these victory points. He's been pretty much behind this game, but he's been holding on pretty well so far with his victory points there. So, and by the way, I just noticed that these Raveners were in fact upgraded to have the Devourer upgrade, so that's looking pretty okay there. Meanwhile, I think we have yet another attack coming for this generator farm down here in the south. Lictor Alpha coming out of here trying to defend him. And it looks like he went ahead and switched that upgrade up to the Menacing Visage, which basically gives him the Terrify ability. So it allows him to kind of force retreat on units there, which is probably exactly what's happening right now with this Knob Squad. Meanwhile, we can see that the Storm Boys are just charging in once again, knocking back that Lictor Alpha, and it looks like they have set their sights on this Warrior Brood. They want to do a lot of damage there. You can see the Lictor Alpha just kind of, he's a presence here, but he's not really getting too much done. Just kind of sneaking around, infiltrated. Now all of the focus fire is on him. That does not look good at all, and absolutely the Lictor Alpha goes down in the middle of combat here. So now it looks like HoLyHammer has just sort of unhindered access to this entire generator farm here. Meanwhile, the Storm Boy's not wasting any time, leaping on over here, grabbing this victory point, but still using that Bomber Boy ability to just kind of do some damage here and kind of shake up these Termagants a little bit. So now HoLyHammer looks like he is threatening a 3-cap, and I believe that is going to be good game. Yes, it is, and Kalzi drops out of the game there. So congratulations to both players. Looking forward to see more replays out of HoLyHammer, as he is looks like being very active lately, and once again, well played by Kalzi. So this has been another cast here by HarlequinCasts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider subscribing because this channel is getting nice and popular, as is Dawn of War 2 Retribution, as it should be because it's a great game. Anyhow, I hope you guys have a great night.